Hello everyone, welcome to the final state of the game video for Unbound Souls. This video marks the completion of my goal to create a video game in 1 year. I want to show some major key points and goals from previous state of the game episodes and show the current state or if it is deleted from the final scope of the game. I made a goal for myself to combine 2 games from the Cobra Code course into one and build on top of that with my own knowledge. This point still stands, and from that point it became more of a wave-based game with a little bit of RPG mechanics. A simple wave-based survival game with a 2D 3D hybrid art style. A perfect starter project for a non-game dev like me. It was a perfect project to begin with because you are limited to what the player will see in-game. Because it is still 3D, but the camera is fixed on one point. You can just focus on one point of the game. And the art style when it comes to the hybrid 2D, 3D, it worked for that. And it was a perfect mix to play around as a first solo game developer. Currently, I added some RPG elements to the game. The reason why is that although this is a wave-based game, I kinda want it to have a JRPG feel to it. As for the character stats, there will be HP, MP, Strength, Intelligence, Defense, and Magic Defense, and of course Speed. For the enemies, will be HP, MP, Strength, Intelligence, Defense, and Magic Defense, and of course Speed. The stats has all been implemented successfully, and they have a major point when it comes to your character progression in form of the upgrades. I have added an experience progression system. When a player kills an enemy, the enemy will drop an EXP orb. Of course, stronger enemies are worth more experience. The player can level up when they have collected enough experience that is needed for the current level. I kinda want it to work as the level up system from Vampire Survivors, where the player picks a random upgrade from the list when the player level up. When you level up, you will obtain ability points that you can carry through different runs, and that you can spend of course on permanent upgrades to get stronger for the next run. As of this moment there is no random upgrade while leveling up when it comes to the more Vampire Survivors, because the game became more and more walking through a world and choose your stages in the world and not enemies coming constantly and where there's constantly waves of enemies. It's more of exploring a world. I probably won't have used the best practice when it comes to programming, but when it comes to thinking about a new skill, it will be fairly easy to implement that skill without breaking the code. But I will have more insight when I work on the rest of the abilities and character stat logic. When it comes to the abilities that I had planned, because it was a survival thing, I had to think of lots of abilities, but the player is controlling the character with walking and choosing when to attack or use the ability. So I kinda had to bring it down to 4 major actions, and that is the dash, the sword slash, the blast arrow, and the basic attack. Because the wave base isn't like a constant enemy presence. If there was, the player would get tired very fast. So it just came down to those four major actions. I also don't want to stare at the prototype grayish world anymore. I want to see more of the art direction that I have in my mind. When it comes to the looks of the world, there are three major zones. And with that also comes random area combat waves. My thoughts about game development. To make a game in 1 year and 1 year only, that gave me a good mental foundation when it comes to the scope of the game. And because the goal was also to make a small game that can fail. And failing, I mean the game may be bad as a game itself, and no incentive to make it financially viable. Of course, those two goals directly contradict what I want as a gamer. If it comes to me, I want to make a RPG with a big world and places to explore, and making awesome characters with interesting backstories. So I needed to find a balance of making a small game that can fail, but also a game that I can be proud of. So within a year, the ideas had to be simplified, and the content became less to fit the deadline for a year. But coming up with workflows and systems is the kind of experience that I can use for the future and upcoming games. My expectations and plans for the future. When it comes to my financially expectations for Unbound Souls, the goal was to make a game and release it, and not make it financially viable. I will listen to the feedback post release, and the demo for Unbound Souls will be available to play forever. Because I want the gamers to see for themselves if they want to buy the game or not. As for now, there are no content plans for Unbound Souls because I want to spend my time on the next game. If the interest and demand for Unbound Souls is high, I will give it a major update. I can't say a lot when it comes to the new game, but I want to build more on the crafting and gathering systems that are currently in Unbound Souls. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day. Goodbye.